Okay, so here we are on the desktop. Now again, the desktop is this large space between the menu bar, which is across the top here, and the dock that has these icons of some of your applications down here at the bottom. Let's look at what we can do to change the picture on your desktop. So one way we can do that is we can go to the apple in the top left corner, and we're going to go to System Settings. And then we're going to look for the wallpaper setting. So if we scroll down a little bit, we'll see we've got the wallpaper setting right here. And that's going to pull up the options for our wallpaper. Now at the moment, it's showing you a little thumbnail preview of what is currently displayed. And down here, you can choose from dynamic wallpapers, meaning ones that will change. You can choose from different landscapes. You can choose from cityscapes, and so on. You can even add your own image if you wanted to. And you can do that simply by dragging an image of some kind and dropping it onto this location up here. You can also choose your own colors by clicking this plus and using the color picker to choose something else. So for example, I can pull in an image here, and I can drag this and drop it right here, and it will set that as my desktop. Another way that we can do this is if I right click, I can change wallpaper right from here. It'll launch up preferences, take us right in, and we can set it back to this, for example. You can also change whether you want the light or dark appearance. So if we go up to the apple again and go to System Settings, so here you're going to click on Appearance. It's already actually on Appearance. And then you can choose whether you want the light theme, you want it to go to the dark theme, or you want it to go automatically between light and dark. And this basically changes it, throughout the day. As you get into the evening hours, it's going to go into the dark, and during the daylight hours, it will be in the light. You can also change the accent color. So the accent color, if we open a Finder window, for example, and we'll set that off to the side there. And let's actually highlight something. Okay, so we'll highlight the clock. And if we go over here, we can see this is a dark blue highlight. And if I click on pink, you can see everything turns pink. And now that highlight is pink. These icons are pink. Pink here, pink for the radio buttons. We're going to go back to the blue. You can also change the color that's used to highlight text if you want that to be different. The sidebar icon size, you can change that to large. And as you can see here in the Finder, as well as here in your system settings, it's changed it to large. This is what small looks like. We'll put it back to medium. Allow wallpaper tinting in Windows. So what that does, and it's not really easy to see, but basically the overlaying windows will tint a little according to the desktop background that you have. Scroll bars automatically based on your mouse or trackpad, like whether you're hovering over an area, have them only appear when scrolling. So for example, there's nothing there, but once I start scrolling, you can see or you can say always, which means that these bars will always be here. The bar's there, the bar here. We'll put it back to automatic. Click in the scroll bar to jump to the next page, jump to the spot that's clicked. So let's see if we can get that to happen up here, probably a little better. Jump to the next page. If I click down here, it's going to jump it down. If I say jump to the next spot that's clicked, so if I click just a little bit higher, it's hard to see, but it didn't go up all the way, right? So if I click right there, it's going to center the bar there, but we can keep going a little further. So that's a little more useful if you have a really long list of things. And we'll just put that back to the default, jump to the next page. Okay, so I'll just show you, we've got this PNG over here that's on our desktop, and I'm going to right click on it, select move to trash. You'll see it jumps down to the trash. If on the keyboard I do Command Z, it will undo that action. So the other way that I can do this is I can just grab it and drag it down to the trash, put it in that way. And then if I right click on the trash, I get this contextual menu. I can either open it in a Finder window and see what's in the trash, and then empty it from here. Or I can right click on it and select empty trash. Gives me a little warning, you're about to empty the trash, and we say yes, and it's gone. Last time I had shown you how to modify a couple of settings using the Finder menu here. So I'm going to go ahead and go in there. We're going to go to Finder Settings. I'm going to enable hard disks so we could see the hard drive here on the desktop. I'm going to jump over to the sidebar, and I'm going to turn on the home folder because I like that as a good starting point. Desktop, documents, applications, downloads, movies, all these are contained in the home folder. So again, those you see when you click on the Finder, you see them over here on the left-hand side. And here's the home folder, and then the items contained within the home folder. So let's also go and look at the notification settings. So if we go Apple, System Settings, click on Notifications, this is where we'll be able to control the types of notifications and the apps that will give you notifications. Now, as you add more applications to your computer, they will start to populate. So right here at the top, show previews, show preview of the notification when the computer is unlocked, always, or never show. Allow notifications when the display is sleeping. Allow notifications when the screen is locked. Allow notifications when mirroring or sharing the display. So this is a good one if you are, sharing your display on, let's say, a GoToMeeting or a Zoom call, or maybe you're mirroring your display to show up on a projector, and you don't want notifications to pop up, and they will pop up in the upper right corner by the hard drive here. And then down towards the bottom here, we get to select like what kind of notifications we want and how we want them to appear. So we'll take FaceTime, for example, here. So FaceTime, we have the allow notifications on. If you want those off, just click the little button. but it's on now. And then you can decide the type, whether you want nothing to appear, whether you want it to be a banner, which the banner will appear in the upper right corner, and then it goes away automatically. Or if you want it to be an alert style, where the alert will come up and stay there until you click the little X in the corner to tell it to go away. And then you'll have these same granular options kind of down here. Show notification on lock screen, show it in the notification center, badge application icon if you want that, play the sound for the notification, or you want it to be silent. Show previews, that would basically be a preview of text or information inside the alert. And what is displayed in there just depends on what app is showing up the notification. Notification grouping, you can have it automatically group itself, or you can group it by application. And basically what that means, if you've got 5 FaceTime notifications, they would sort of appear in a bunch. And if you got new email notifications, those would appear in a little bunch. They kind of be stacked on top of each other. Here's mail down here, for example. So here I have a number of text files and PDFs. And so what I could do is use stacks in order to organize them a little better, or at least gather them together. So if I right click and say use stacks, it will automatically put all of the document files, being the text files here, all the PDF files here, and then it put this untitled folder down below. We can take a little screenshot. That's going to get stacked there. So it's Command-Shift-4. Take another screenshot. And once it's saved, you can see it went there as well. And if I click on that, it'll show the 2 screenshots. If I click on the PDF documents, it's going to show the PDF documents. If I click on documents, it's going to show me the text documents. And then I click again, hides them back away. Now, if you want to change how these are displayed, then what we're going to do is we're going to right-click on the desktop and then say Group Stacks By. Currently, it's selected as kind. We can say we want it by, let's say, date created. And basically, they're all in the same stack because they were all created today. So let's set this back to kind. And there we go. We've got our text, PDF, image files or screenshots, and then the untitled folder. We can create a new folder, and you can see it keeps the folders separated. It doesn't combine them into a stack. It only combines the documents into a stack. So if you end up here with a lot of windows open, and some of them might actually be hiding other windows in the background, and you're like, oh, I know that window's here somewhere, and you're kind of clicking around and you can't find it. You can use some of the gestures on the trackpads of the MacBooks. You can also gesture on the Apple mouse, or you can hold down the Control key and press the up arrow on the keyboard. And that pops out all of the windows, and then you can click on the one you want. So for example, let's say we have this one showing the desktop. Well, we've got all these other windows in front, and we can't quite locate that one with the desktop. I hold down Control, I click the up arrow, click on the desktop one that I want, and I have this window. The other thing you can do is use spaces. So for example, let's launch up Safari. So now we have a Safari window here. If I hold down Control and press the up arrow, I can take this Safari window and I can drag it up here and add another space for it. So if I come back and click here, I'll close these windows out just so it's not quite as confusing. So now I just have this one Finder window left. But if I come down here to the dock and I click Safari, it moves me over into the Safari browser space. Across the top here, when the toolbar is hidden like this, it means that this application is using the full window. So one of the things that you can do, you'll see the little red and green dots will disappear. If you bring your mouse up towards the top, the menu bar up here appears, and then you can click the red X to close the window completely, or you can click the green one and that'll bring it down into its own window and you're back into space again. Now what you can do is you can Control up arrow and you can manually add a space too if you wanted. So now we have our desktop 1 and our desktop 2. So I'm going to click on our desktop 2 and I'm going to open the Contacts app. So here's our Contacts app open. We can still see Safari is running because it has the black dot underneath it. So if I click Safari, it slides that desktop out of the way and gives us the Safari page. Now, if we look down here, Contacts is still running. I'll click Contacts and it pops us back over to this desktop and it slides the desktop across. So this is good if you kind of have like need two sort of separate spaces that you want to work in. If you're making calls here, we'll just open our little text editor, can take some notes there, what have you. And then we want to jump back over to the web and we want to start doing some surfing on the web and looking things up, or maybe run some other applications. It kind of gives us these two spaces to work in. So if I come back over here, click Contacts, close this out, close this out. Now you notice it still says Text Edit in the top left corner. And that's because not all applications quit just because you've closed Windows. Because Text Edit can have multiple windows open at a time, you have to click on Text Edit and quit, or right-click on it in the dock and select Quit. The little black dot disappears, the app is no longer running. If, for example, this was something that you wanted to keep in the dock, the only reason it's in the dock now is because it's a recent application, and that's evident by these dividing lines on either side. You can take it and drag it onto this side and place it anywhere you want, actually. And now this will stay in the dock. If you decide later that you want to remove it, drag it out till you see the remove, and it'll go away. So let's jump back over to our Safari side, and we'll go ahead and close these out. We'll right-click, and we'll quit our Safari. So if you recall, we have two spaces. So I'm going to Control up arrow. You can see we have desktop 1, desktop 2. We can keep adding more if we want. Now we've got 4 of them. If you want to get rid of some, just click the little X. Let's say you want to have more of a difference between the desktops besides just the open apps. Well, we can right-click, change the wallpaper, turn off the Show on All Spaces button, and we'll change this to this Utah scene. It's actually downloading that scene. And the reason it's taking a little bit of time is because these are also movies. So when you haven't been using your computer, it will sort of go into a screen save mode and these will start playing flyover. But what this does now is it gives us the ability to differentiate between the two desktops that we're using. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. Thanks.